محمد وآل محمد وأهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين الغر الميامين المحجلين ولعنة على أعدائهم أجمعين وغاصب حقوقهم ومنكر فضائلهم من ليلنا هذا إلى قيام يوم الدين. أما بعد فقد قال الله تعالى في كتابه الحكيم وقوله الحق. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن الله يحب المتطهرين. Recite salawat please. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. Okay, Azadar and Hussain, we were discussing about many issues related to your life, to improve your life, because these all discussions are related to your daily life. And if you follow these instructions, you're going to really get benefit out of them. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. This side one more loud salat please. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Because if you eat right food, you get good energy, your strength is there, and when you utilize your strength the right way, you become successful. But one side if you are getting energy, other side you are losing energy or something is interrupting with your energy, you are not going to get right result. For everything in your life, you perform, one thing is always required and considered a essential part of your ibadah, and they called taharat, cleanliness, or we can say the rituals you perform to purify yourself. Because one concept we normally people have in their mind is, what do they think? They think if you perform anything as you want, you're going to get result. Allah condition, without taharat, Allah not going to accept your anything in your life. Recite loud salawat please. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. This is taharat. Why taharat is essential, you know? Because this is the human nature. This is the human nature. If they have any najasat or things which are not clean, they feel uncomfortable. You know, if you have even honey on your body, right? This is not natural. You keep all the time. Even you have blood on your fingers, right? You always feel uncomfortable. So this is the human nature Allah created. They always like taharat or pure things or cleanliness. They never like dirty things or uncleanness. Because these things interrupt with their room, with their life. This is one of the very important part of your life. So I am going to discuss very brief about what is the taharat, how we define the taharat, how we perform the taharat, and why this is very important part of your any ibadah, any part of your life. Anything you perform in your life, you are able to perform without taharat. Please recite loud salawat please. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. I am discussing about importance of taharat. Without taharat, you cannot perform anything in your life. Any ibadah is not acceptable without taharat. But you know, Islamic purification is completely different with other purification. Why? Because if you take shower without niyat, your taharat is not complete. But if you wash your utensil without niyat, it's passed. So what is the difference between cleanliness of your body and cleaning utensils? Because one is called hadas, one is called khabas. I mentioned one time in our old class, but whoever understands this is the important part. Listen and understand. Why? Because something cause to impurify your soul, you need intention to purify your body. If something just causing to impure your body, you need just to wash up, right? And no niyat is required. Why niyat is not required? Because you are not affected internally, means your soul is not interrupted. So that's you have to understand where intention is wajib, where intention is not wajib. So whenever you have hadas, means spiritual impurification, you need intention. But if you have just your khabath, means something externally impure, you just wash away without intention. This one basic thing. Why? Because why this thing is important? Because Allah wants to worship Him in the condition of taharat, in the condition of purity. So what purity you want? Many people, they perform their wajibat without proper taharat. And if you are performing your wajibat without proper taharat, your ibadat is not acceptable. Your ibadat is not considered valid. So how you make your ibadat valid? After learning right purification. So I will give you a brief introduction about it, how it impacted and how deep you can get the benefit out of it. This benefit is not only in this world, but sometimes the benefit goes beyond that level. You see, but sometimes you are performing just wuzu. You think I performed the wuzu and that's it. I made myself clean and that is the only thing I want. No. I mentioned many years ago one time Prophet was sitting in the mosque, someone came and asked, "Oh Prophet, on Day of Judgment, we're going to get shafaat from you, intercession, you're going to help us to get into Jannah. But you are not going to be there, all other nations going to be there. Hazrat Adam followers going to be there, Hazrat Musa followers going to be there, Hazrat Isa followers going to be there. If someone among them claim they are your follower, how are you going to recognize they are your follower or not?" Prophet said very simple word. So it's very easy for me to recognize. You see, how are you going to recognize? You see, whoever my follower, their face and hand going to glow. They going to enlighten the whole measure. Noor and light going to come out from their face and their hands. So you see, where the person asks very simple question. So where are we going to get this light? Where this light going to come forth from? And Prophet said very simple things. This light going to come from your wuzu you perform. From wuzu you perform. If you're performing right wuzu, you're going to get light in this world and hereafter. In this world and hereafter. This is the benefit of purification. If you have taharat, if you have proper purification, effect going to go up to the Jannah. Prophet going to see effect of your wuzu in Day of Judgment. If we miss that point, we're going to miss there. You see, many people, they perform incorrect wuzu in their whole life. What's going to happen? They resurrect at Day of Judgment without that identification to prove he is a follower of a Prophet ﷺ. To say, I need your shafaat, your intercession to get me into Jannah. Prophet going to say, because you learned something from others, not from my own resources which I left for you for your guidance. That's the reason you have no identity. I consider you my follower. So that is important taharat. Other effect of the taharat goes up to the Jannah. You know, in the Day of Judgment you going to get benefit out of it. In grave you get benefit out of your taharat. What benefit? I recite one time in one of the Jummah khutbah. What I said? You see, when someone dies, normally after putting his body into grave, what people think? His body going to be deteriorated, decomposed, and others instead going to eat up his body. That's normal concept people have, right? But no, we have proved many Prophet's followers and also our Imam. This hadith, our Imam's body is like very great, like box they put inside when they buried the Prophet ﷺ in the grave, they put our Imams in the grave. What do they think? This they are just not putting there, but giving a treasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to earth to keep as it is without any change. That is a belief of all Muslims. There is no doubt in that. But what about the other followers? When our other followers, they died when they put their bodies in the grave, what is going to happen? So this is the law. What they said, if a true follower who buried with the right faith, his body is going to remain intact in the grave. Only for one reason. What is the reason they said? If someone perform ghusl Juma for 40 Juma continuously without any gap, his body not going to deteriorate or decompose in the grave. So this is another effect of the tahara. Why? Because Allah is going to protect your body from decomposing, from insect. Why? Because purity is there. And other thing, I give you how it's possible. Very simple logic you can use. Wherever some dirtiness, flies sit on that. Where purity, flies runs away. So that means insect realize where impurity is, where purity is. So if insect can feel where purity is and they run away from that, same way Allah is going to keep your body intact from insect because you purified your body according to Islamic law all your life. But you see, tomorrow we have much important discussion which is not purifying our body, purifying our thoughts and our language. That is the topic for tomorrow, which I was try to hold up to the day where we can get maximum people to convey this message. Because this is very important. Your faith is related to your thoughts. Your thoughts are pure, your faith is going to be strong. If your thoughts are correct, your belief not going to be intact. That's the one thing. So let me just give you in very brief because we have short time. You have to prepare for the other things. So I have to give you some basic information about it. Remember something. So I'm not going to teach you how to perform wuzu, how to perform ghusl. These things you have normally learned in your Sunday school class or from your parents or some other resources. But taharat you have to learn from the right sources. If you learn from wrong sources, you may perform the wrong purification. You are not going to get benefit out of it. Let me quote just few things. Okay. But till now we discussed, right? Because this interruption is causing diversion in your mind. So I will just put in one small sentences and give you. We need purification for ibadah. Purification divided into two parts. One is hadas, one is khabas. Hadas means something which is like impacting on your soul, on your ruh. So you have to have niyat to purify it, like perform ghusl, wuzu, tayammum or other taharat, right? But if you are performing just normal purification which occur due to khabas, means any najasat come on your body, you want to make it clean, you do not need any type of intention for it. That is the main thing, remember this, because sometimes intention is essential. Without intention the taharat is not going to perform. Sometimes no, intention is not essential. Then second thing I mentioned, taharat is not only giving you benefit in this world, it's going to give you benefit in the grave, it's going to give you benefit in hereafter. And only the pure people going to enter into Jannah. That is the final message. No najas person going to enter into Jannah. Only pure people going to enter into Jannah. No najis person going to enter into Jannah. Why? Because Jannat is tahir, paak. Only there is no place for najis person. Even he is najis according to his language, najis according to his body, najis according to his thoughts. Okay. So tomorrow we are going to discuss how the person's thoughts going to be polluted or najis. You know the body, how the body becomes najis. All najasat we learn into Sunday school, and you may learn that thing. It's essential. Without knowing najis things is not. One last point, let me make. How najasat is contradicted with your faith. When Imam Hussain came to the Karbala and he was delivering his last sermon in front of the Yazid, when he lost all his family members, no one left alive, Imam Hussain gave his last ceremony. He mentioned very important part, please remember that. Very, very important. What Imam said, you saw me on the shoulder of the Prophet. I didn't change anything in the religion. I gave you everything, whatever Allah delivered to the Prophet, and Prophet taught me. So I am doing my duty. And I am suggesting you to leave me, I go away, and don't kill me. But you are not listening to me. Why? Because your stomach is filled with the najasat, with the haram. You was eating haram, so now Allah covered your heart with najasat, so you are able to see the truth. You see, if you have a covering on your eyes, you cannot see the fact, right? Same thing, Allah covered the heart with the darkness, so they are unable to see the light of Iman, of faith. So that's the reason. You see, taharat, this Imam mentioned that point. You see, if you are brought up in the najis environment, you're not going to learn the fact or truth or haqq. That is the reason we are emphasizing on the taharat. Allah says, Inna Allah yuhibbul mutatahhirin. Allah loves those who are clean and pak. Taharat have several names, but this is the reason we have to be pak. And this is the reason when you came here, why they asked you? Yesterday they asking, perform your wuzu so you can hold the alam. Why they are asking you to hold the alam with the taharat? Because the name of the Ahlul Bayt is written on them. If you touch without wuzu, in place of getting reward, you may punish. Right? Because you're disrespecting the name of the Prophet. When they perform the niyaz, why they are asking you to wash your hand? Even they put sometime the water bucket here, so they're not allowing to wash your hand inside the sink. Because you have some particles on your hand. If you wash, the water is going where najis water is goes. So they say this is disrespect of them. We consider like the taharat at that level. We don't want to something consider disrespect in eyes of Ahlul Bayt. Something is related to Ahlul Bayt, we keep them pak. So when we are trying to keep the niyaz pak, we are trying to like even wash our hand somewhere where no najis thing is come into contact with these things. So in which level Allah kept our Ahlul Bayt. I'm just concluding last part. Allah said in the Quran about Ahlul Bayt. This is the niyaz. But where we came from to understand the taharat of Ahlul Bayt, Allah said, Innama yuridullahu liyudhaba ankum Ahlul Bayt wa yutahhirukum tathira. Recite Salawat please. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. So this is the taharat. Taharat means purification. Purification you need in your body, in your niyat, in your soul, in your ibadat, and also in your amal. I can, inshallah, tomorrow if I get more time, I can explain what type of taharat you need. You need to purify your income. How you purify your income? You need to purify your thoughts. How you purify your thoughts? You need to purify your ibadat from shirk, from like things which are not permissible in Islam, which call certain things you perform in your life which you think is permissible, not permissible in Islam. So we have to check and purify our act from the several things which is not permissible. Inshallah, I'm going to mention tomorrow. Today we have limited time. You're going to perform for your other like things. You're going to participate in the Azadari because you're going to do something and feel that thing. With this last point, inshallah, I'm coming to the massage give you. What are you going to feel when you go up the stair? Some of you are showing the act of Imam Zainul Abidin. Some of you are showing the act of Imam Muhammad Baqir. Some of you are showing the act performed by the Bibi Sakina Salamullah. Some of you are showing the other children, they were in Karbala, how they were feeling. You are going to participate in the program is called Al-Atash. Al-Atash means thirst. People are hungry and thirsty. So you're going to perform that thing, right? Alhamdulillah, you already ate the niyaz, but you have to feel that thing. Feel them. How are you going to feel? Remember one thing, when you perform your fast, before you open your fast, how you feel. You are just hungry and thirsty for a few hours. Right? The children in Karbala, they were hungry and thirsty from 3 days. It's not like imaginable. You cannot imagine how much thirsty they were. So when you do that thing, bring the impression on your face. Number one, when you are in the procession, do not laugh. Laughing or doing anything, any act which show happiness on your face is completely haram. It's not permissible because you are in the procession, you are showing or try to convince the other people how the children of Karbala were feeling. They were not laughing, they were not making fun, they were not doing anything which show happiness in their face. So number one thing, when you walk with them, show your grief or your pain on your face. Only you can do that when you feel that internally. How are you going to feel internally? When you remember how much they were thirsty, what they were feeling at the time, without water, without food, you have to feel that. I remember one day, if you can imagine, and inshallah I can just conclude my masayib too. You see, a few years ago, in summer, we asked like our children, they are 7, 8 or 9 year old, they do their first roza. You know, before they opened their fast, what condition they were facing? Because they were that age. They were hungry and thirsty from since morning to that time. You cannot imagine. Their face is completely pale. The thirst is visible in their face. Even they are unable to talk. They are unable to say we are thirsty. After I burned half a day of thirst caused that type of impact. Then remember, if someone like in same age, thirsty from 3 days, there's no one drinking water in front of them, no one eating in front of them, because all other people are fasting, so they might not reminding the water and food in their mind. But what happened? The children in the Karbala, they are able to see the Yazid army is eating and drinking. They have Farat in front of them. When water is available, you feel more pain. So you're going to show that thing. When you walk with the sadness. That is my. Do not walk in the form. Anything happen. Ignore it. Someone touch your body or your foot hit with something. Never ever bring the smile on your face while you're in the procession. That is important. Never talk, because you are in the procession. People are going to look at your face and they cry. If you make them cry, you receive the sawab. If you remember first day, what I said, this is the masayib. I am just making sure and convincing you. This is the benefit of coming the Majlis to you can perform something correctly. What I said in my first Majlis, what Imam Jaffari said, Wallah, I swear God, angels sitting with you in the Majlis. And what he said in our other, like Hadith, I just gave you summary. If you make someone cry, 30 people, Wajibul Jannah, Allah will make you to go into Jannah. Number 2, if you make cry only one person, you are entitled to go into Jannah. But even you are unable to make someone cry, make him feel sad. If you do so, you receive the same salah. So you have the opportunity. You are not able to come on pulpit and deliver the masayib and make someone cry. That is your chance to participate in the azadari and impact on other thoughts. Make them feel sad. If they feel sad due to your impression of face, you receive sawab. So this is my final message for today. Inshallah, why are you going to do that? Because Sakina was thirsty. Hazrat Ali Asghar was thirsty. Tonight, you're going to carry the cradle of Hazrat Ali Asghar. You know how much Hazrat Ali Asghar was thirsty? We cannot imagine his thirst. Why? Because when children is more in young age or they are eventually infant, they need more constantly water and food, because this is a natural instinct. So their thirst start very quick and remain so long. So Hazrat Ali Asghar was very thirsty. We cannot imagine why, because his lips were completely dry. Even not only lips were dry, but when Hazrat brought his tongue out, his tongue was completely dry. So when Imam Hussain holding Hazrat Asghar in his hand, asking, "Oh Yazidi, Ashqiya, oh the soldier of Yazid, can you give some water to my this 6-month-old child? If in your belief I made something wrong against you, but this 6-month child, none against you. So why you not giving water to him?" And what happened? Impact was so much deep. Some soldiers tried to get water for Hazrat Ali Asghar. So what Ibn Ziyad said to the Hurmala, "Iqta kalam Hussain, oh Hurmala, kill 6-month-old baby." Hurmala took an arrow which they used to use for killing animals, especially they try to use for the camel to nahr it, to slaughter it. So they're using that type of arrow which was more heavier than the weight of Hazrat Ali Asghar. He was very sharp shooter. He was very much strong in the army in arrow shooting. So he shot the arrow toward the neck of Hazrat Ali Asghar. As soon as arrow was coming, Hazrat Ali Asghar lift his neck to save his father's shoulder. His neck was small and arrow was big, so he is unable to protect, but middle part of the arrow is stuck in the neck of Hazrat Ali Asghar. As soon as Hazrat Ali Asghar hit with this arrow, Hazrat Ali completely reversed his body divert other side. Why? Because he was facing first toward the army, now he is facing toward the tent. How? When his face turned toward the tent, his mother Rabab was standing there. What she saw, my son is in the condition where no other children face that type of merciless killing. In the same time, Imam Hussain was holding the blood of Hazrat Ali Asghar in his hand and tried to throw in the sky. The sky cried and said, if one drop came toward me, you're not going to have any rain till day of judgment. And as Imam Hussain tried to throw the blood on the earth started crying. This is the blood of an innocent baby. I cannot bear that burden. So if you throw one drop of the blood on me, you're not going to have any greenery on earth. Immediately, Imam had no place to throw this blood. The sky is denying, earth is not accepting. Imam tried, now Imam is imagining, thinking what he can do. He can put the blood on his clothes. We know the army of Yazid going to loot at his clothes. Imam tried to put on his chest, but they know they're going to run the horses on his body. Then Imam put the blood on his face. That was thing. How Imam purified. How Imam put the blood of Ali Asghar on his face, because Imam know they're going to cut his head and put on the spear. Wherever they carry the head of Imam Hussain, they're going to see the blood of Ali Asghar, and that's going to be a proof of their cruelty, because they kill a 6-month baby without any reason. Because you can kill the soldiers if they are fighting with you in the army, but 6-month-old baby never fight, never have any enmity with them, no, like they did nothing against them, but still they kill the 6-month-old baby. So you're going to carry the cradle. So Imam holding the body of Hazrat Ali Asghar and trying to convey the message. This last word, listen carefully, you're going to go. When Imam was trying to go up and coming back, Imam is going forward and coming back. Why? Because Imam thinking how he going to deliver the message to mother of Hazrat Ali Asghar. All soldiers came into battlefield to fight with the enemy, but Hazrat Asghar came just to drink water. Immediately what he saw Imam finally reached to the tent of Hazrat Rabab, and before Rabab came out, Hazrat Sakina came out. You're going to show the in procession how Sakina was feeling thirsty. So remember these words of Masahib in your mind so you can feel sad. Hazrat Sakina came out and she just holding the legs of Imam Hussain, asking, oh my father, when you took Ali Asghar to the battlefield, he was crying, now he is silent. That means the enemy gave him water. Oh my father, take me to the army. I now want some water too. I am very thirsty. Before Imam Hussain said anything, Imam just saw Rabab is on the door of tent. Imam just lift his above from the body of Hazrat Ali Asghar. Was mother of Imam Hazrat Ali Asghar saw a big arrow sticking in the neck of Hazrat Ali Asghar. Ali Asghar killed by Hurmala's arrow. My mother of Ali Asghar says, Mislo Katan her, oh my son Ali Asghar, they kill like a small baby in the way they kill the camel. This is their cruelty. This is the way of Messiah. سيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون.